Have you heard what is happening in Kentucky? Speaking of the media not informing us, I'm guessing you haven't, because it's not, one of the top 5 stories, which is all the corporate media cover. I mean, they take 5 stories every day and basically recycle them hour after hour after hour with panel after panel after panel of so-called expert, and this isn't probably one of their top stories, but Andy Beshear finally, his opponent, the Republican governor of Kentucky, finally said, okay, you win. And Beshear is going to become governor. A Democrat is going to become governor of a state with a Republican-controlled legislature, House and Senate. And so, sure enough, they're doing the same thing that they did in Michigan, Wisconsin, and North Carolina in 2018 and 2016. They are passing a law to strip the governor of his power. I mean, it's mind-boggling. This from Stephen Wolf for Daily Kos over at Daily Kos. GOP leaders in the Kentucky legislature are pushing a bill that would effectively remove Democratic Governor-elect Andy Beshear's control over the state's Department of Transportation. The latest move in an accelerating trend of Republicans stripping power from Democratic governors before they could take office. The legislation would limit the governor to nominating a transportation secretary from a list chosen by a new board whose 9 members would be selected by the Kentucky Chamber of Commerce. Oh, God. I mean, this is... Anyway. David in Klamath Falls, Oregon. Hey, David, what's on your mind?
Well, Tom, I'm wondering if the impeachment proceedings go to the Senate, the Democratic candidates for president, do they have a need to recuse themselves since they have a vested interest in the outcome of the trial?
Well, yes and no. If the outcome of the trial decided the outcome of the 2020 election, then I think that you could build a case. But frankly, I think whether Trump is convicted or not, the outcome, the impact that will have on the 2020 election is going to be really hard to predict. If he's convicted, then a whole brand new set of questions comes along. How does he spin this? And does it actually make him more powerful? And what if he refuses to leave office, number one? Or B, if Mike Pence replaces him and then Mike Pence says, okay, I'm picking up the Trump mantle and I'm going to bring in, so-and-so as my vice president and we're going to run for, but we're going to run on the Trump ticket essentially, that may increase the probability that Pence gets elected. You could build a case. In fact, there's some Democrat. There was just one Democrat from, I think, from Michigan, the Michigan area, who just said, I no longer support impeachment. I'm now in favor of censure, because they're afraid of a scenario just like that. On the other hand, if he's exonerated or not exonerated, he'll claim exoneration. But if they can't get a majority in the Senate to impeach him, then, he's going to say, hey, complete exoneration, just like he said when Robert Mueller didn't indict him. Now, Robert Mueller didn't indict him because the Department of Justice told Mueller, you can't indict a sitting president. But that, that doesn't seem to make any difference. So